Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Amy here. Sorry I have been MIA. It's just been busy. I know I say that all the time, but it was a crazy month. Had some just personal family things going on. Everyone's okay, not to worry. Just a lot going on. And then we celebrated my dad's 80th birthday at the Beau Rivage in Biloxi, Mississippi last weekend. So videos kind of got put on the side, but here we are. As I'm filming this, it is Friday, May 27th. Hopefully I can get this up to y'all this weekend. But today we are going to talk about some June new releases. I'm like, wait, we're in June already, y'all. And it's Pride Month. I'm so excited. So many good male romances coming out in the month of June. So let's get started. There's a lot of books. I think I counted like 20 books I wrote down. So June is hopping. June is ready, y'all, and I am so excited. But I do think I'm going to go ahead and instead of going in date order like I normally do, I'm still gonna go in date order, but we're gonna do mystery thrillers first, and then we'll hop into the male romances portion of this video. I'm gonna try to go through these quickly, so I'm not gonna read a lot of the synopsis. Hopefully maybe I can give you an idea of what these books are about. But our first one comes out on June 7th. This is The Woman in the Library by Sulari Gentile. On the bottom it says, a sharply thrilling read with The Woman in the Library, an expectedly twisty library adventure that examines the complicated nature of friendship and shows us that words can be the most treacherous weapons of all. For one, the cover really got to me. I think it's a beautiful cover. A library adventure is what I'm thinking it's gonna be. I love the cover. It just sounded amazing. So yeah, it went on the list. Another release on June 7th. This is Ashton Hall by Lauren Belfer. I'm sorry, I can't talk today for some reason. I'm not sure. I'm stumbling over my words. I'm not sure what's happening. But anyway, once again, the cover drew me in. A little summary says, rich with female passion, strength, and veracity across the ages, Ashton Hall is a novel that reveals how the most profound hauntings are within ourselves. I believe this has to do, just kind of looking through the synopsis, from what I read before, this has to do with a woman who is moving into, I believe it's a family home. It was inherited some kind of way. I don't want to dive too much into it, but anyway, it sounded really good at the time when I read it. I was drawn in by the cover. June 7th, it went on the list. Also releasing on June 7th, we have a cozy mystery, which I haven't seen one of these in a while. Haven't really been looking for them, but this is by far one of my favorite cozy mystery series. So this is Claws of Death by Lorna Barrett. This is number 16 in the Booktown Mystery series. Now I still need to read book number 15, so I'm a book behind after this one comes out. But yeah, so those of you who love a good cozy mystery, this is a great series. I absolutely love it. It's about a woman who owns a bookstore in this great little town. Her sister owns a restaurant like across the street. They get into a bunch of crazy murdering crap. It's really fun. I've really enjoyed it over the years. So yeah, we get a number 16. Bookstore owner Trisha Miles tries to open a new chapter in her life, but murder mars the pages in the latest entry to Lorna Barrett's New York Times best-selling Booktown series. Things are changing in the Booktown, and some merchants would say not for the better. No matter what side of the argument they're on, all the business owners agree on one thing: Trisha and Angelica are to blame. Trisha and Angelica are sisters. Still, it's a pretty typical day in the life of a small town chamber of commerce until one of the disgruntled bookstore owners is killed. That's all we're gonna read. So yeah, super excited. I need to really get back into this little series. Like I said, I'm just a book behind, so it could happen. Moving on to June 14th, we have Can't Look Away. This is by Carola Lovering. I believe she wrote, what was it, the book she wrote? Too Good to Be True. That was a pretty good book. That was a book of the month pick. This one says a sexy suspense novel about the kind of addictive, obsessive love that keeps you coming back, no matter how hard you try to look away. This cover just looks creepy, but also coming out on June 14th. This is And There He Kept Her by Joshua Moling. A dark and complex mystery that will consume you, starring a protagonist who is equal parts quirky and steady. A thrilling page-turner that introduces readers to a complicated new hero and forces us to consider the true nature of evil. We have a couple of new books coming out on June 21st. The first one I'm really excited about. I think everyone is anticipating the next Riley Sager book. This is The House Across the Lake. I do have this one on pre-order, so I'm excited to get that one in the mail. It says Riley Sager is back with his most unexpected thriller yet. The House Across the Lake unveils more than one twist that will shock readers until the very last page. This one, if I'm remembering correctly, I think gave me The Woman in the Window kind of vibes, because we have a woman who is retreating to, I believe, her lake house, and her pastime is watching her neighbors across the street, and I think something happened. So it really gave, like, the synopsis really gave me The Woman in the Window type of vibes. I'm looking over here because I'm looking for the book. But yeah, I'm really excited to see how this story plays out. Next, on June 21st, we have The Lies I Tell. This is by Julie Clark. This, I believe, is going to be a book of the month pick. They started giving you like these teasers. If you have, I think if you go to the webpage, you can see it as well. But if you have the app, for sure, if you go on there, it'll give you teasers for the next month of books, and I'm pretty sure this is what they're teasing us with. The Lies I Tell is a twisted domestic thriller that dives deep into the psyches and motivations of two women and their unwavering quest to seek justice for the past and rewrite the future. Not sure what that means, but I do believe this has like something to do with maybe a con artist. It says She's Back. Meg Williams, Maggie Littleton, Melody Wild. Different names for the same person depending on the town, depending on the job. So yeah, I won't read any more, but yeah, this one releases June 21st and possibly a book of the month pick. And lastly, coming out on June 28th, this is One of the Girls by Lucy Clark. Love this cover. A twisty psychological thriller. One of the Girls is the delicious story of a bachelorette trip on a stunning Greek island that ends in murder. I think that's all we need to know. All right, moving on to male romances, y'all. We have a lot going on. But before we dive into what is coming out in June, I have one book that we talked about last month. This is Wicked Flame. This is book 2 in the Chicago Heat series by Ella Frank. We didn't have a cover last month. Here it is, and it has released on May 21st. I still have not started this series, but it is on the list. I definitely want to get to it some point in time. So many good books, y'all, so little time. And it does say that this should be read after Wicked Heat, which is the first book, so we're continuing with our characters. Looks like their names are Ryan Kerrigan and Jameson Clark. This is the continuation of their story from book 1. Also, a book that I did not mention last month that came out on May 16th. This is Shameless Flirt by Lauren Blakely. This is the prequel to the hopelessly romantic duet books that are coming out in June. It does say that you do not have to read Shameless Flirt before hopelessly romantic. You can totally just jump into the duet is what she's calling it. But I always enjoy reading her little prequels to her book series because they just give you a good insight on our characters, and usually it tells us like how they meet and how they get to know each other. But yeah, it's definitely not something that you have to read if you don't want to, but it's very small and very worth your time. When my boss hits me with the news that I'll be working in London for a year, I say yes so fast. What could be better than a year abroad on the company's dime, surrounded by swoony British men? Meeting the sexiest, most charming man ever, my first day in London, that's what. But then I lose track of him in a crowd. No last name, no number. Suddenly finding him again feels like the most important thing I must do in my year abroad. So that's all it gives us in a little synopsis. So just to keep the flow of the little book duet going, Hopelessly Bromantic comes out on June 3rd. Love this cover, but I learned that the paperback does not look like this. The paperback looks like this. I think it's cute. I love these adorable little covers like that, but for our male romance, like for this, if you're gonna give me this cover, this is the cover I want in the paperback. So anyway, it's coming out on June 3rd. It says a sexy, passionate, utterly addictive roomies to lovers male romance. Contents include one broody American, one charming Brit, and two libidos that can barely fit into the smallest flat in London. Translation: hot, angsty nights in the first novel is a scorching and emotional two-book epic male romance. I'm excited. And then our second book, which is Here Comes My Man, comes out on, I lost the date, I had it written down, June 28th. This is just the continuation of our American and Brit angsty love affair. I'm so excited about these books. Okay, it says cover coming soon, but this is Go Down in Flames by Charlie Cochet. This is the second book in the 10 series. This is a series that is coming off of the thirds. So yeah, like a little spin-off. I will of course update you with the cover. It says, like I said, it says June 2nd, but I mean that can change because we don't have a cover. I don't know if the date's right. Sometimes they change it, sometimes they don't. It doesn't even have a synopsis, a blurb. It just says this is book 2 in Dex and Sloane's 10 adventures. Blurb details coming soon. But we have June 2nd as the date. I will keep you posted. Let me go back a little bit. I kind of lost track of my dates here. On June 1st, we get the second book in the Licking Thicket Horn of Planny series. This is Hitched by Lucy Lennox and May Archer. I read the first book. It was okay. I didn't love it. We didn't like most of the book. We weren't in Licking Thicket. I love the little town of Licking Thicket, and that's where I want this story to take place. So this is the story of former Marine Percy Champion and Licking Thicket's gorgeous, charming new wedding planner, Quinn Taffet. It's got a bit of a long synopsis, but hopefully we stay in the town of Licking Thicket because that's what I love about these books. And they're humorous, they're just fun. I think you can definitely read all of these as standalones because they do contain different characters. This goes for the Licking Thicket series as well. But for me, I find it's best if you read all the books because you just get the feel of the town and the other characters that are in all these other books, because they are in the books, but the story's kind of just doesn't involve them. But that's just my opinion. All right, y'all, KM Newhold is giving us a new series. I believe this is a spin-off from our Four Bears Construction series. This is Crankshaft is the first book in the Big Bull Mechanics. If I'm remembering correctly, it was either the last book or the book before last we got introduced to one of the guys that work at Big Bull Mechanics in the Four Bears Construction books is what I'm referring to. I'm pretty sure we got a little peek into what was coming, but it was very small. It was just one of the guys. But yeah, I'm super excited about this series. I love the Four Bears Construction. If you have not read that by KM Newhold, and you're a male romance lover like I am, you definitely need to read these books. Those guys are so much fun. This one says, I don't have time for a relationship, not even with the adorably jerky vet I can't seem to stop bumping into. And then the last little line says, it's better if we're only friends who occasionally fiddle with each other's crankshafts. I can't wait. This is gonna be so much fun. I do think the cover of this next book is really cute. This is a little bit country. This is by Brian D. Kennedy. This comes out on June 7th. It says, Emmett McGuire wants to be country music's biggest gay superstar. Luke Barnes hates country music. As the grandson of Verna Rose, the disgraced singer who had a famous falling out with Wanda Jean, Luke knows how much pain country music has brought his family. Will Emmett and Luke be able to get past the truths they discover, or will their relationship go down in history as just another sad country love song? I think I missed somewhere in the middle. I didn't want to read all of it. It looked really cute. The cover was fun. It sounded cute. I put it on the list. June 7th. This book caught my eye on Instagram. This is Blindsided by Becca Steele, and looks like it's going to be a series. It says LSU #1. So I'm intrigued what that is. It doesn't really say, but our college here in Louisiana is LSU. So, and this is about, I believe, a football player. So is this based in Louisiana? It just says, my first year at university started with a bang. Literally, I crashed into someone's car. Even worse, it turns out that person I blindsided is my new housemate, Liam, second-year student and football player. It's hate at first sight until it isn't. But even if he doesn't hate me anymore, it doesn't change the fact that he's straight. At least I thought he was. One night, one kiss, and everything I thought I knew turns upside down. They say actions speak louder than words, and his actions tell me that he wants me. It just sounded really hot and steamy, and I love a good first time or straight to gay kind of book. So yeah, it went on the list. I can't wait to see where we're located at. What is LSU? That one releases on June 9th. On June 24th, we have the Platonic Rulebook. This is by Saxon James. This is actually book 2 in the Divorced Men's Club series. I talked about book 1 when it came out a couple months ago. I think it was called Arrangement of some sort. Hello, Bella. But yeah, this is book 2. I have not read book 1 yet. It says, after we wake up in bed together, I can't stop looking at him differently. And one thing becomes abundantly clear. I talk a big talk about wanting to be single, but my Platonic Rulebook has gone out the window. The series just sounds really fun. It's about divorced men, like finding, discovering who they are, finding another love in their life. It just sounded fun. On June 21st, we have The Loophole. This is by Naz Kutab. Cute cover. This is a YA debut. It says, your wish is granted. Equal parts broken-hearted love story, epic myth retelling, and a world journey romp to find home. So he runs into someone, and I believe he helps them, and she grants him like wishes. And that's really all I kind of got out of reading the synopsis, but it looked really cute. I love the cover. I like to throw in a good YA here and there every now and then when I see one. So yeah, this comes out June 21st. Okay, this next book, Forsaken Desires, we have no cover on Goodreads for it, but I found this book on Instagram, so I'll put the Instagram picture up right here. But this is Forsaken Desires by Ashley James. It is the second book in the Deepest Desires series. I never came across the first book, but the first book is called Barred Desires. I'll put a picture of it here. It just says Forsaken Desires is the second book in the Deepest Desires interconnected series. It's male enemies to lovers romance. So I don't know if it has anything to do with the first book. But yeah, this one comes out on June 24th. I will definitely update y'all with a cover whenever it comes out. It says, one night changed everything for me. I walked into that party surrounded by friends and walked out with an enemy. It's been 2 years and I still have no idea why he hates me. Now we're forced to work together and I'm going to enjoy getting under his skin. So yeah, enemies to lovers sounds really fun. I'll have to check out the first book and see what that one's all about. That is it, y'all. That was a lot of books. I'm really excited about all that is coming out in the month of June. Really excited. We got some good male romances coming out. I'm looking forward to the month of June to celebrate Pride Month. I'll definitely be reading nothing but queer books in the month of June. If you have any recommendations for me, put them down below in the comments. As always, thank y'all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, let me know down in the comments any recommendations for me. What are you looking forward to in the month of June? Any of these books I talked about today? Let's talk about all of it down in the comments. Hope you're all doing well out there, y'all. Hugs from me all around, and I'll see y'all very soon in a new video. Bye, y'all.